Okay, hello guys. In this video, I will explain you what functions are in Java. Um, so let's start by making a main method with our PSVM shortcut here. This is already a function. This is a standard function in Java, obviously to run your program. But you can also make your own functions, and that's what I'll be showing you in this video. So let's first create an instance of our main class here. Now, why are we creating an instance of our main class? It's because I'll be calling methods that are inside this class. I'll show you. So let's create a function, right? Now, why should you create functions? It's because of multiple things, right? So scalability, you can use functions multiple times. So it's like efficiency, you make the function once, you can use it 1 billion times basically. The functionality just has to be made once. It's also maintainability, you don't want to have duplicate code everywhere. That's really not maintainable. If you change something in one place, you have to change it in 10 different places. While if you have a function, you can just change that function, it gets changed everywhere. Also, let's say the function is very complicated. If you need to calculate something very difficult, you just have that function made 10 years ago. You can just call it. Don't worry about it. The function will handle everything. So that's what we're doing here. So let's make a very basic calculator or something, right? So we're gonna do public. Like you can also do private. We'll actually do private here. Private and public is a different. I can explain it in a different video. It's not really that relevant now. So it basically means private, it's only accessible inside the class, and public means it's accessible outside of the class. In this case, we will not be leaving the main class, so we might as well make it private. So the first keyword is private or public. We chose private. Our next keyword is to return type. I want to make a function where I put two numbers in and it gives me the sum of these numbers, right? So a very basic calculation, right? Basically what I'm doing is I'm gonna have a variable a, which has the value 10, and a variable b that has the value 20, and I want the sum of those, right? So I want a plus b. It's this easy, right? So if I run this, you'll see that this will give me 30, right? But this, I want this in a function. So let's do private. Now the return type of the function is going to be an integer, right? 30, the result of our function will be an integer. So that's what we're returning here, integer. The name of our function, sum of two numbers. Always give descriptive names. You could just call it sum, it doesn't really matter. Now the parameters of a function. So what am I putting inside the function, right? Two integers. What am I putting in? Integer a, integer b, right? Then brackets. So this means everything that the function does is inside these two brackets. Right now I've told it I'm going to, at the end, return an integer, so and I'm putting in two variables. Now what am I returning? I'm returning a plus b, right? That's what I'm doing, and we're done. So now, instead of printing this, I will print sum of two numbers, a and b, right? It can't be referenced because it's not static. Of course, I have to do main dot this, right? I made an instance of main, so I'm allowed to run this. I could also make this static, and instead of running it from this instance, doesn't matter. You'll see that it works now. So a lot of new people, I think, understand this concept. I think they struggle sometimes with void. Correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe it's the other way around. I'm not sure. I don't struggle with stuff like this anymore, so it's hard for me to kind of know where the problem lies. But um, let's say void. We just have a random function, print hello world. Okay. Now, what is void? Void is a unique return type, so int makes sense, right? If I change this to double, I'm returning a double, right? If I do string, I'm returning a string. But void is unique because void returns nothing, okay? So what this means is that I'm calling a function and I'm not getting anything back, okay? So let's print hello world. And as you can see here, I returned a plus b. Here I'm returning nothing because that's void. I'm not supposed to return anything. Now I can call the function print hello world, and it will execute the function. So what's happening right now? I'm calling the main function, right? The program gets executed chronologically, which means we execute line 4, line 5, line 6, line 7, but then we call this. So then we jump to this function. We execute line 13, right? We get back in here, then line 8. And the second we hit this, we jump to this line 17. We execute this, which is being printed here, and then we're back here. Okay? That's basically what a function does. When you call it, you just jump inside the function. It executes all the code inside the function until it's done. So as soon as it hits this, as soon as it hits this bracket, it jumps back here. And then it executes whatever is left here. Since there's nothing left, there is nothing after this, the program exits. This is what functions are. Now, functions can be as complicated as you want them to be. For example, what I could do is I could do print hello world, but I could give it two parameters, so a and b again, and it could just print the sum of two numbers, a and b. So let's see. As you can see, I'm printing 30 twice now. Why am I printing 30 twice? That's because I'm printing it here. I'm just calling the function. So this here returns the value 30, and then it puts it inside the print function, puts it here. Then main.print hello world comes in here, and then it prints. But first, it calls the sum of two numbers function. So inside a function, I can call another function, right? And I mean, print line is already a function. Everything is a function, or an object, or a primitive type, basically. And yeah, it's pretty straightforward. If you want me to explain like the private or the public keyword more, just let me know. So yeah, I think that's good enough. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please subscribe and like the video, and leave a comment with some feedback. I appreciate it. Thank you for watching.